How does anything grow here? It is a desert. It is brutal. The temperature hits 120 degrees by noon. The ground is bone dry. The wind never stops. And yet, this valley produces some of the best table grapes on the planet. Millions of pounds shipped every single year. So what is the secret? Today I am taking you inside the entire process from bare desert dirt to the harvest day truck. Buckle up, because this is a ride. Welcome to the Coachella Valley, where a brand new vineyard story is just beginning. Surveyors carefully map every inch before a single vine ever goes into the ground. This sandy desert soil tells us everything we need to know. Bright orange flags mark the future corners of what will become an entire vineyard. This bulldozer clears decades of stubborn creosote brush in just one single afternoon. Laser-guided precision technology delivers perfectly level desert ground for the rows ahead. Desert wind never stops shaping how the vineyard gets designed. From above, you can finally see the geometry of the future vineyard taking shape. Old-school farming meets new-school satellite mapping for every row before planting begins. Without water rights in California, no vineyard project can ever exist at all. Soil pH testing matters. Get this wrong, and the entire project fails fast. Native plants get respect here. Only what truly must go ever gets removed. Meet the desert tortoise, getting carefully relocated to safety before any work starts. Heavy machinery rolls in early every morning to beat the brutal afternoon heat. Concrete and steel rebar mark the corner of this property permanently and forever. Water trucks keep the desert dust under careful control during all the work. A curious coyote watches from the ridge, observing all the desert activity below. And at day one, the owner walks his future vineyard in quiet reflection. Under desert stars, the empty land waits patiently for tomorrow morning to come. Morning huddle. Every great vineyard truly starts with a great team and plan. Compost delivery day. This dark organic gold transforms desert sand into living soil. Look at those steaming mountains of compost ready to spread across the field. The tractor lays down stripes of fertility across the pale, thirsty desert soil. Healthy soil really does have a smell. The agronomist knows it very well. Gypsum breaks up clay particles so water can move through soil properly. Cover crops protect and enrich the soil before any vines ever arrive here. First water hits the field, droplets catching the morning sun like tiny diamonds. Watch barren ground turn into a green carpet in just a few short days. All this lush green growth becomes next-level natural fertilizer for future vines. Disking the cover crop into the soil builds deep, lasting soil fertility forever. Soil samples head to the lab for careful nutrient and chemistry analysis. Calcium carbonate fine-tunes soil chemistry, and tiny adjustments mean huge results later. He literally smells the difference. After months of work, this soil is finally ready. The subsoil breaks up hardpan 2 feet down, so vine roots can reach water. Final pass. The cultipacker creates a smooth, perfect surface ready for the next stage. Engineers carefully plan every single drop of water for desert farming to succeed, drilling 400 feet down to reach the precious aquifer hidden under the desert. First water from the well. Now everything in this vineyard just became possible. The pump station building is the heart of the entire vineyard water system. Mainline pipes go deep underground. These arteries carry life everywhere across the field. PVC welding takes perfect technique to last for many decades buried underground. Pressure regulators ensure every single vine receives exactly the same amount of water. Drip line spools by the thousands. Together, they stretch for miles across the desert. The specialized tractor lays drip line down each row with surgical precision and care. This tiny brown emitter delivers water exactly where the vine roots need it most. Filters at the head catch sediment before it can clog any of the emitters. Fertigation tanks feed the vines through the irrigation lines for efficient growth. Moment of truth. The system fires up for the very first time successfully. Walking the lines slowly, listening carefully for any leaks or pressure issues. Smart sensors text us automatically when the soil gets thirsty for water. Thousands of dormant vines arrive ready to call this home. Each variety has its own designated row, and there is zero room for mix-ups. The roots soak up water and rooting hormone before they ever go in the ground. The hydraulic auger drills perfectly spaced holes down the row at precise intervals. The taut string line keeps everything geometrically perfect and beautifully aligned. Where you place the graft union determines whether this vine lives or dies. Tamping eliminates dangerous air pockets. Firm soil contact equals healthy growing roots. First drink for each new vine. This is when life officially begins here. 40,000 baby vines, all in their precise, calculated spots across the desert. Bamboo stakes provide the critical first support for tender young vines. Grow tubes work like mini greenhouses, blocking wind and rabbits. The foreman walks every single row carefully. Every detail matters here for success. Variety tags get wired on each stake. Every single vine knows its name. Replacement crews swap in healthy vines exactly where any failures need fixing. Magic hour. The glowing grow tubes light up like a runway in the desert. After months of hard work, the proud manager finally takes it all in. Smart desert crews always drink water long before they ever feel thirsty. After weeks of dormancy, life is bursting out everywhere in the vineyard. First tendril of the season, this little spiral has finally found its support. Empty desert is now officially a living, breathing vineyard ready for growth. Galvanized metal posts will support tons of fruit for the next 30 years. Hydraulic post drivers pound steel deep into the desert soil permanently and forever. End-post anchors handle the heavy tension of an entire row pulling sideways. Stringing high-tensile wire is satisfying, methodical work that takes the whole day. Wire tension matters big time. Too loose and it sags. Too tight and it snaps. Look at those posts march to the horizon. That is pure desert geometry. Multi-wire systems give vines layered structural support at different growing heights. He tunes the wires like guitar strings to find the perfect tension level. From above, the trellis grid looks just like graph paper across the desert. Wire clips secure everything in place. It is repetitive, but accuracy is everything. Empty trellis at sunset. Soon a sea of green will completely fill it. Aerial view reveals the math behind every line and every spacing decision. Catch wires get adjusted upward as the vines grow taller week by week. Final inspection. Every loose wire and crooked post gets flagged for fixing. Crew photo time. Months of hard labor produced this engineering masterpiece. Off come the grow tubes. Inside, healthy young vines have done their job. Jute twine is biodegradable, gentle, and absolutely perfect for tying tender trunks. The strongest, straightest shoot becomes the trunk of this vine forever. Suckers below the graft? Gone. All energy goes to the main trunk shoot. Foliar feeding sprays nutrients directly onto every leaf for fast growth. Mulch around the base conserves precious moisture and stops weeds from growing. Reflective tape scares off birds. Cheap, effective, and beautiful in desert wind. We watch the leaves like a doctor watches a patient. Very closely, misters drop the canopy temperature 15 degrees in just a few seconds. Big milestone. The leader shoot finally reaches the very first trellis wire. Time-lapse shows a simple stick become a real, productive grapevine. Spot watering by hand for the stragglers. Some vines just need extra love. Ladybugs and lacewings clean up pests naturally without any harsh chemicals. The proud owner walks his rows at dusk. There is no app for that feeling. Season 1 is complete. Healthy, established vines and a perfect setup ahead. Winter in the desert vineyard. The vines sleep, but the work never stops. Frost on the cordons. Even the desert sparkles like crystal in winter. Pruning crew suits up for cold mornings, sharp tools, and long working days. Sharp blades make clean cuts. Tool maintenance is sacred work for these crews. 2 buds per spur. The master pruner shows the apprentices exactly how. Picking the right 2 canes determines the entire crop yield for next year. Nomadic pruners cut through thick vine wood like butter every single time. Pruning waste piles up fast. All this brown was the leaves of last year. Snip, drop, step. The experienced crew moves down the rows in pure rhythm, burning the piles or mulching them. Both methods work great for waste. Wood chippers turn pruning waste into valuable mulch that returns to the soil. Look at the angle. 45 degrees, clean as a surgical scalpel. The foreman quality checks every section. One bad pruner can hurt the whole row. Frozen hands? Time for a propane heater break for the entire crew. From the air, lush summer canopy is now stark winter geometry below. Bending canes horizontally along the wires maximizes sunlight on the future grapes. Pruning is chess, not checkers. 3 years of planning happens with each cut. Sap drops form on fresh cuts. The vine is bleeding, but also healing. Digital tracking keeps 2,000 vines organized through the entire pruning season. Sunset over the prune vineyard. Spring is just around the corner now. First pink bud of the season. After months of dormancy, life is back. The woolly stage. Tiny gray hairs protect emerging buds from harsh sun. Green tips will become the leaves that feed the entire crop this year. Frost alert. Wind machines spin up to mix warmer air down before dawn. Sprinklers in a freeze sound crazy, but ice actually protects the buds. 2 leaves and counting. This baby shoot is photosynthesizing already, making energy. The tendril rotates in space until it grips something solid like a wire. From above, the vineyard greens up by the day. Spring moves fast. Sucker removal redirects vine energy exactly where we want it to grow. Wires get raised a notch as the shoots reach upward towards sunlight. Shoot thinning crews remove the weak ones early. Quality over quantity always. These tiny bumps will become the grape clusters of this growing year. Bees are back, scouting the vineyard for soon-to-bloom flowers everywhere. Smart sensors guide irrigation as water demand jumps with rapid spring growth. Spring vineyard against the snowy mountains. This view is absolutely pure magic. Tiny flower buds appear, each capped with a protective little calyptra cover. Watch the cap fall away. The grape flower reveals itself in slow motion. The honeybee cover in pollen helps with one of the greatest jobs in nature. Wind also moves microscopic pollen between flowers, ensuring strong fruit set everywhere. Full bloom. Hundreds of tiny flowers race to become fertilized berries today. Walk through a blooming vineyard and smell something sweet, faintly grape in the air. This single week determines the entire year of vineyard production. Loop inspection. We predict yield carefully before any berries ever appear here. Failed flowers drop naturally. It is called shatter, and it balances the crop. Healthy bees mean healthy pollination, which means a healthy harvest later on. Each pollen grain carries the genetic future of every single grapevine. Sunset during peak bloom. Quiet, beautiful, and full of promise for harvest. Hand pollination for tricky varieties. Sometimes the old methods are still best. Aerial shows bloom timing across varieties. Some early, some late, all natural. Petals dry and drop, revealing tiny green berries underneath. Welcome to fruit set. Berries. These hard little green guys are the foundation of harvest. Cluster thinning concentrates flavor and size in what remains on the vine. Leaf pulling exposes berries to morning sun while keeping afternoon shade. Calipers measure berry size weekly. The data tells us how the season progresses. One drop at a time, drip technology made desert farming truly possible. Dappled light through the canopy creates exactly the perfect ripening conditions. Each cluster on the vine is a future package of fresh, juicy grapes. Misters cool the canopy and keep the vine stress-free during peak heat. Thinned clusters lay sacrificed in the row, making remaining fruit so much better. That coiled tendril grips the wire stronger than most knots ever could. 110 degrees in the desert. Heat management is not a luxury, it is the job. Tucking shoots back into the canopy keeps everything tidy and well organized. Watch berries grow from BB size to marble size in time-lapse. Nature is amazing. Cluster photos build a database that improves every harvest year going forward. Pre-dawn mist drifts through the rows after another scorching desert day. The barn owl is the best rodent control money simply cannot buy. Night patrol with flashlights. Wildlife, irrigation, and security all checked carefully. That waxy bloom on the berries protects them from sun and disease naturally. Aerial view of cluster density. Looks like it is going to be a great year. Manager and viticulturist walk together. 2 experts making decisions for the vineyard. First color change. That single pink berry signals Verizon in the home stretch. Half and half clusters look incredible during Verizon. Half green, half red, pure art. Flame seedless in full ruby color, glowing translucent in the morning sunshine. Black grapes turning purple-black with that dusty natural bloom on the surface. Refractometer reading sugar content. Brix levels tell us when grapes are ready. Sugar, acid, and pH together paint the full picture of fruit ripeness. Backlit translucent berries glow like jewels in the late afternoon sun. Bird netting goes up fast. Sweet ripening fruit attracts every bird around. Even with netting, accidents happen. This little guy gets a careful rescue. Tasting is part of the science. The palate catches what instruments miss. Heavy clusters bow the wires. That weight is months of growth and water. From above, varieties ripen at different speeds, all on the perfect schedule. Beneficial bugs keep working through ripening. The ecosystem stays balanced naturally. Lab analysis confirms what the palate already suspects. Harvest is finally coming. Decision day. Owner, manager, and consultant pick the perfect harvest date together. Scouting with a hand lens. Small pests cause huge problems if missed. Yellow sticky traps catch tiny insects, providing reports on vineyard pest activity. Powdery mildew up close. It can destroy a crop in just a few days. Sulfur dust treats mildew organically. Yellow protective clouds drift through every row. Full PP means full safety. Even organic treatments require proper handling and respect. Pheromone strips confuse pest moths, so they cannot find mates or reproduce. Predator mites get released to eat pest mites. Pure nature versus nature. Spider mite damage shows as bronze stippling on leaves. Catch early to save. Dawn spraying gets cool temperatures and zero wind. Better coverage every time. Owl boxes encourage nature to handle rodent control. Hundreds eaten each year. Computer models predict disease pressure days in advance. Modern vineyards run on data. Vine mealybugs hide under bark. Sneaky, destructive, and a constant threat to monitor. A spinning hawk decoy keeps smaller birds nervous. Cheap, effective, low-tech genius. Healthy clusters tell the IPM story. All this work pays off in beautiful fruit. Spray records on tablets, keep us compliant. Every product, rate, and date logged. Sunburn damage on berries can ruin market value in the harsh desert sun. Kaolin clay coats the canopy. This natural mineral works exactly like sunscreen. Shade cloth over premium varieties protects them in 115-degree desert heat. Tuking lateral shorts creates de canopy. More leaves equals more shade for fruit. Filtered light through the canopy is the goal. Direct sun burns berries fast. West side leaf removal blocks the brutal afternoon sun while keeping cool morning light. Mister's fire at exactly 2 p.m., dropping canopy temperature 10 degrees fast. Heat shimmer rising from the rows reminds us why this work is hard. Soil moisture data fine-tunes irrigation during heat waves. Stress vines make poor fruit. Wind machines mix air during heat domes. Movement alone reduces stress on canopy. Workers drink water all day long before they ever even feel thirsty. Curling leaves signal heat stress. Catch it early and you save the canopy. Thermal drone imaging shows where canopy management is working and where it is not. Evening inspection. After a brutal day, we check how every block survived. Stars over the cooling vineyard. Desert nights are a reward for daytime survival. Final bricks reads 17.5. That is the magic number ready to harvest. Crew recruitment meeting. Harvest needs hundreds of skilled hands working in coordination. Tools get distributed at dawn. Scissors, gloves, and totes for every harvester. Cooling facility inspection. The cold chain starts here, no failure allowed. Forklift checks before the rush. When pallets move fast, equipment cannot fail. Multilingual safety briefing. Heat, tools, and ergonomics all carefully covered together. Empty bins load onto trailers. They will return full of perfect fresh grapes. Quality control, standards review. Posters show acceptable and unacceptable cluster appearances. Hand washing stations everywhere. Food safety is non-negotiable in fresh produce. Block maps go to crew leaders. Color-coded by variety, ripeness, and priority. Coffee and pastries truck. Long pre-dawn shifts need fuel, and morale matters too. Manager pre-dawn walk. Solo, quiet, mentally preparing for the chaos ahead. Equipment lights pierce the pre-dawn dark. The vineyard wakes up before sunrise. First light appears behind the mountains. Day one of harvest is officially underway. Final logistics call. Trucks, cooling, and packing supplies all need to arrive on time. Crews enter the rows in single file. The biggest week of the year starts. Headlamps illuminate the first cluster. We harvest in cool darkness for fruit quality. First cut sound, pure satisfaction. That snip launches an entire season of work. A perfect cluster falls into the open palm. Decades of choreography in motion. Watch the pace of an expert. Scissors flash, clusters drop, rows clear fast. Bins fill cluster by cluster, each placed carefully to avoid any bruising. Sun crests the eastern mountains. Now the real desert heat truly begins. These weather hands know more about grapes than most science books ever will. Carrying full totes back to the trailer requires careful steps and balance. Bins stack on the trailer organized by variety and time. Traceability follows. Loaded tractor heads to cooling. Vine to cold storage in under 30 minutes. The foreman counts bins with a clicker. Productivity tracking helps determine pay. Mid-morning heat slows the pace. Workers move smarter, not faster, in heat. Water break in the shade. Smart hydration separates the pros from the rookies. From above, harvest looks like organized chaos, all heading the same direction. Each cluster gets inspected before harvest. Any damage, and it stays on a vine. Field trimming with tiny scissors removes any imperfect berries right in the row. Slow motion lifting reveals the care. We protect that natural bloom on skin. Multi-generational crews work side by side. Knowledge passes from veterans to newcomers. Felco shears in close-up. These orange-handled tools are the symbol of harvest. Bottom layers in the tote get arranged carefully. They support everything stacked above. Sweat under the bandana. Honest portrait of what desert harvest demands from bodies. Spanish whispers between workers, sharing tips about cluster quality in real time. Workers of different heights bend and reach differently. Ergonomics matter on long days. Final visual inspection before passing the tote off. Quality control happens everywhere. Stem cutting technique methods. Right length means easy handling without damaging berries. Hidden cluster discovered under the leaves. Lifting the canopy reveals a perfect catch. Mexican music from a portable speaker. Rhythm helps the long hours pass quickly. Planted feet balance stance. Years of experience teach the body where to position. Two-handed technique cradles each cluster. One hand supports while the other cuts. Master harvesters move at remarkable speed without sacrificing care. That is true craft. Backlit hands work tirelessly. Dust and pollen catch the morning sun beautifully. Lunch break in the shade. Homemade tacos and tortoise refuel everyone for round 2. Foreman documents progress on his phone. Every row, block, and detail recorded. Final pics of the day and afternoon light. Energy fades, but determination stays. Field pack stations set up at the end of the row to minimize handling. Trimming each cluster perfects its appearance. Consumers want pretty grapes, we deliver. Filling clamshells precisely. 2 pounds exactly, every single container, no exceptions. Digital scales verify weight to the gram. Underweight loses customers, overweight loses money. Brand stickers go on. Variety, weight, pack date, and full transparency for the consumer. Pallet stacking patterns maximize ventilation while preventing crushing of the fruit. Reject bins for fruit that does not make the grade. Nothing wastes here. Sorting belts let inspectors catch any imperfect clusters before reaching the consumer. QC walk by the foreman. Constant feedback keeps quality high, hour after hour. Pallets get wrapped in plastic film. This locks in moisture and stabilizes the load. Multiple pack lines run in parallel. Red, green, and black grapes flow simultaneously. Hairnets, gloves, beard nets. Food safety is the foundation of consumer trust. Robotic case packers join the human team. Modern farms blend tech and skill. Date and lot codes get printed on every case. Traceability protects everyone. Final pallet photo for records. Documentation follows fruit all the way to shelves. Pre-cooler entry. We drop fruit temperature from field heat to 35 degrees fast. Forced air cooling fans roar to life. Cold vapor circulates through every case. Control room monitors temperature constantly. Any deviation gets caught and corrected immediately. Cold storage stretches to the ceiling. Tons of grapes wait here for trucks. Forklifts navigate freezing aisles. Operators wear heavy jackets even on summer days. Loading docks come alive. Refrigerated trucks back in with practice speed. Pallets load into trailers carefully. Cold chain stays unbroken from field to store. Manifest tablets log every detail. Pallet numbers, varieties, weights, all tracked carefully. Refrigeration units on the trailer get verified. Wrong temperature loses the entire load. Trailer doors close, security seal goes on. Cold chain officially locked for journey. Truck pulls away from the dock, beginning the long haul to grocery centers. Highway at sunset, lined by date palms. Desert says goodbye to harvest season. GPS tracking shows truck progress in real time across the entire country. Distribution center arrival hundreds of miles away. The Coachella grapes are almost home. Final QC at distribution. We verify fruit arrived in perfect condition after travel. Grocery store display fully stocked. From desert vine to retail shelf in 5 days. A shopper picks up a clamshell of perfect grapes. The journey ends with a smile. From above, the harvested vineyard rests. Leaves color. The cycle prepares to restart. The manager walks his quiet fields at sunset. Another season done, feeling everything. Stars will above the resting vineyard. The desert returns to silence. Cycle continues.